Well, the fact finder report outlined recommendations concerning 82 issues. The recommendations included discipline requests, salary negotiations, and contract length. He voted down the teacher's request for changes in the disciplinary rules. He also recommended a 3.3% pay increase for the first year, 3.2% the second year, and 3.1% the third year. And finally, he sided with the union and recommended 3-year contracts for the teachers with no negotiations after the first year.
So what does it all mean? Does the fact finder's report favor one group over the other or not? Now, joining us live to help answer that question and others is Chuck Weinblatt. He's the Director of Organization Development at the University of Toledo. Mr. Weinblatt, thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it. Based on what you've seen and heard, do you see this fact finder's report leaning in one direction or the other, or did he actually try to find that middle ground?
I think he did try to find a middle ground, but in this case, there's been a seepage of authority and power from the union from management to the union over probably 20 years. It's been an insidious process, and finding a middle ground here doesn't really do much to reshape the status of power in between union and management.
Teacher evaluation appears to be the most divisive issue dividing these two parties. The fact finder did not find in favor or rule in favor of the school board here. Is there any room for compromise? Can you see the school board actually voting this fact finder's report down based on one ruling, one issue?
It's a very serious issue. I can't imagine any administrators who are willing to put themselves in a position where they're unable to evaluate their own employees. And it's a very, very serious issue, and it's going to be a very difficult decision on the part of the school board.
It's been said that the Toledo Federation of Teachers, with Francine Lawrence, her husband before her, at the head of the controls, or at the controls, if you will, being one of the most powerful school unions in the state, if not the country. Is this a case of Dr. Merrill Grant and the board trying to take some of that power back?
Well, certainly they're going to be trying to take some of that power back, but that's why we have a system of checks and balances. In this case, the Ohio Employment Relations Board sent a fact finder out. He spent a lot of time studying the system that exists in Toledo. Cincinnati used that system as its current model, and I think that they'll be taking a look at things like performance characteristics of students in the Toledo public system against other cities in Ohio in order to determine whether or not this system of evaluation could hurt students or in fact help them.
Final question for you, Mr. Weinblatt. We know you haven't had a chance to review the entire 60-page report, but based on what you've seen, do you see both sides accepting or rejecting the fact finder's report?
I think it'll be a lot easier for the union to accept it. There are two real critical issues on their agenda. One is the teacher evaluations, and the fact finder pretty much left that alone, didn't make any substantial changes at all. The other substantial issue for the union is seniority as a basis for hiring and transfer. And once again, the fact finder didn't make much in the way of changes there. So I think the union will be pretty pleased with it overall. In terms of the school board approving it, that's a different story altogether.
All right, Mr. Weinblatt, we appreciate you joining us tonight talking about the divisive issue, which is the contract negotiation right now, and they are at odds. We thank you very much for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.